Mary is 74 years old. Every morning when she wakes up, she has to sit in bed for a long time because her legs are so weak that she can't stand up right away. There was no accident. There was no serious illness. It was just her legs were getting weaker and she didn't know why. She used to love walking in the park, tending to her small flower garden in the backyard. But now, even climbing a few stairs left her gasping for breath. Little by little, she felt like she was losing her freedom, not because of old age, but because her legs were no longer stable. Why do legs get weaker even if you don't have an injury? Is there a way to regain leg strength without medication? And what if you started with just a good breakfast? The truth is, after age 60, you lose about 3% of your muscle strength every year, even if you're still active. But what nearly 99% of seniors don't know is that it can start coming back in just 12 hours if you eat the right foods, not pills, not strenuous exercise. What you put on your plate every day. In today's video, you'll discover the 10 most powerful foods to help repair leg muscles, improve balance, and reduce pain, backed by scientific research. Real-life examples from real people, both in the US and abroad, who have changed their lives simply by eating right. And especially a super simple morning routine that will help you feel lighter and stronger in just one day. Stay until the end because I'll show you how to incorporate these foods into an easy-to-follow routine starting tomorrow. And if you're caring for a parent, or if you've started having trouble getting up in the morning yourself, this is what you need to hear today. Like Mary, you can feel your first step becoming more steady with just one small change. And it starts with your first food. Ready? Let's start with the first food on the list, the little nut that could change the way you walk every morning. Have you ever felt like your legs have gotten heavy over time? No accidents, no pain, no obvious injury, but getting up from a chair, climbing a few stairs, or even just balancing while brushing your teeth suddenly becomes more difficult. You're not alone. It happens to almost all of us after the age of 60. It's amazing. But according to studies, people over 60 can lose up to 3% of their muscle strength every year, even if they are still active. And the important thing is, losing muscle doesn't mean old age. It means less exercise, poor blood circulation, and especially a lack of nutrients needed to nourish the muscles. I once met George, a retired aeronautical engineer in Florida. At 67, he could still climb up to the roof to fix the antenna. But just a few years later, when he turned 71, he said, "I don't understand why. I still eat the same food. I still walk every week. But now it's hard to even get up from the sofa. It's like someone secretly took the strength out of my legs." After a checkup, he didn't have any serious illness. It's just, he lost more than 10% of his leg muscle in 3 years, a process that he didn't even realize he had. Leg weakness doesn't arrive like thunder, it creeps in like fog. And when you let it go, muscle loss leads to loss of freedom. Loss of freedom makes you less active. Less active makes you lose more muscle. And so on and so forth. But the good news is, that cycle is completely reversible. Your body still has the ability to rebuild muscle, still responds to the right nutrients, and can still come back stronger than you think, whether you're 60, 70, or 80. And it all starts with something very small, a simple food that few people think of. This little food can provide essential magnesium, which helps muscles contract properly, reduces morning stiffness, and even reduces those cramps that keep you up at night. Meet the first unsung hero on today's list. Last year, 69-year-old Susan went to the doctor because her legs were constantly numb and weak in the morning. She used to play tennis when she was younger, but now just going to the supermarket makes her want to sit down. The doctor prescribed her a prescription, a mild muscle pain reliever, vitamin D tablets, and a joint supplement with glucosamine. She took it regularly for 2 months, but the heaviness in her calves and knees remained. I felt like everything was just temporarily soothing, but not really changing. And then her daughter, who is a nutritionist, said something very interesting. "You're trying to rebuild a house using only band-aids. Instead of using drugs, give your body real bricks, food, that brick." When you eat a nutritious meal, your body not only soothes the pain, but also starts to repair itself. Food not only provides the building blocks for muscle protein, collagen, but also carries enzymes, natural anti-inflammatories, neurotransmitters, and minerals, elements that pills can't fully replicate. For example, a glass of beetroot juice not only contains nitrates, but also helps dilate blood vessels quickly, bringing blood to the muscles better. A bowl of well-cooked bone broth contains readily absorbed collagen, helping to restore muscle fibers and knee joints immediately after exercise. A meal with quinoa and salmon not only fights inflammation, but also provides steady energy for the whole day, instead of creating a blood sugar fever and then collapsing like after taking a sugary supplement. Medications can help, but cannot replace real recovery. Unfortunately, many seniors rely entirely on medications, forgetting that our bodies are not built from drugs, but from food. A pill can temporarily calm the pain, but the right meal will make your body say, "I have enough ingredients to repair myself." If you are taking medication and not feeling better, maybe your body is waiting for nourishment. In the next part, we will learn about a small but extremely powerful food, something that just 2 spoons every morning can turn off cramps and wake up long dormant muscles. Let's explore the first super seed on the list and why it deserves to be in the breakfast of everyone over 60. Mr. Larry, 72, recounted that there was one thing that scared him the most every morning, not illness, not age, but the feeling of his calves being as stiff as rocks, making him sit for 10 minutes before he could put his feet on the floor. "It was like someone was pulling my tendons tight while I was sleeping. I had to massage them for a long time to get to the bathroom." He tried everything, from nerve tonics to massage machines to hot patches. But it wasn't until he added a simple food to his breakfast that he felt his legs feel good again, and the miracle was pumpkin seeds. How can a small seed untie knots in muscles? Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural sources of magnesium. Magnesium is an extremely important mineral because it helps muscles contract and relax properly, transmits signals from the brain to the neuromuscular system, keep the heart rate stable, and reduce night cramps. In addition, pumpkin seeds also contain zinc, gives regulates hormones and the immune system. Healthy fats gives reduce inflammation in muscles and joints. Natural tryptophan gives helps sleep better, reduces muscle spasms while sleeping. Fact: more than 60% of older Americans do not get enough magnesium in their daily diet. A study published in Magnesium Research found that older adults who are deficient in magnesium are twice as likely to have cramps and significantly more loss of balance while walking than those who are well nourished. So how much is enough? And how to eat it properly? Just 2 tablespoons of raw pumpkin seeds a day, about 30 grams, is enough to provide enough magnesium to help muscles breathe and relax again. Tip: soak pumpkin seeds overnight in clean water, gives reduced phytic acid absorption inhibitor. Can add to morning smoothie, sprinkle on oatmeal, salad. Eat with fruit or plain yogurt. Avoid roasted with salt, causes water retention, increases blood pressure. Use pumpkin seeds coated with sugar, spices. Sometimes, what you need is not more medicine, but more of what your body is lacking, most silent, but extremely essential mineral. And if your legs feel heavy as lead in the morning, maybe you are lacking exactly what pumpkin seeds have in abundance. In the next part, we will learn about a drink that is popular with athletes and the elderly in Europe, not only because of its pleasant, slightly sour taste, but because of its ability to soothe arthritis and restore muscle strength in just 12 hours. Let's take a look at the amazing effects of a bright red juice. Here's something that Uncle John, a 70-year-old former Marine, once couldn't believe. Just 1 glass of juice can help me walk down the stairs the next morning without wincing in pain. He used to suffer from mild arthritis and muscle aches every morning, especially after long days of golf or gardening. Painkillers helped a little, but only for a few hours. That is, until his son, a fitness trainer, brought him a bottle of tart cherry juice and said, "Drink this every night. Don't believe me? Just try it." The result: 3 days later, John laughed and said, "Never before has something sour tasted so sweet. Why is this little juice so powerful?" Tart cherries, or sour cherries, contain a powerful group of plant compounds called anthocyanins, which have the following effects: reduce muscle and joint inflammation, increase blood circulation to the lower limbs, lower uric acid levels, helping to reduce joint pain, Support deeper sleep thanks to natural melatonin. What does the research say? A study published in the Scandinavian Journal of Medicine and Science in Sports showed that older adults who drank tart cherry juice twice a day after exercise reduced muscle pain by 23%, significantly increased thigh muscle strength in just 7 days. The special thing is, the effect appeared after only 8 to 12 hours, not having to wait several weeks like other foods. How to use and tips for choosing recommended dosage. 1 small glass about 6 to 8 ounces every night or after exercise. Choose the standard 100% tart cherry juice. No added sugar. No drinking tips. Drink it straight if you can handle the sour taste. Or add water, a few slices of ginger, or a few drops of lemon. Common mistakes. Buying the wrong sweet cherry, no effect. Drinking it on a full meal reduces absorption and reduces anti-inflammatory effects. Getting older doesn't mean you have to be friends with aches and pains. Sometimes, just a small glass and a little patience can help you get back on your feet. And if you wake up with achy, sore muscles, or a heavy step, try adding a glass of tart cherry juice in the evening. Not a sleeping pill, but a gentle friend that helps you sleep more deeply and wake up more easily. But don't leave the video just yet, because in the next part, we'll come to a familiar dish that you might have overlooked: cooked spinach. Behind that simple leafy green is a superpower, the ability to push blood down to your legs, nourish your muscles, and make you stand up from your chair much easier after just one meal. Ellen, 68, used to love dancing. She was the first one on the dance floor at church parties, and she was always the fastest walker in her group of friends. But about a year ago, she started to feel like her legs were slowing down. It wasn't exactly pain, and it wasn't cramps. It was a feeling of something not flowing in her legs. It was like the blood wasn't getting to where it was supposed to go. I was still walking, but it didn't feel solid. She went to a geriatric dietitian. They didn't prescribe any medication. Instead, they said, try adding a cup of cooked spinach to your lunch every day. It's nothing complicated. Ellen laughed at that. A bowl of spinach can change your legs. But 2 weeks later, she said, I started to feel like my legs were coming back to life, like they were getting a little more energy. What happened? Spinach, especially when lightly cooked, is one of the richest natural sources of nitrate. When it enters the body, nitrate is converted into nitric oxide, a molecule that can dilate blood vessels, increase blood and oxygen flow to the extremities, especially the legs. Help muscles work more efficiently with less fatigue. The results: gives you walk longer without feeling heavy legs. Gives get up faster. Gives reduce the feeling of numbness, fatigue, lethargy in the thighs and calves. Scientific research backs it up. A study published in Frontiers in Physiology found that older adults who consumed nitrate-rich foods like spinach had up to a 16% improvement in lower leg mobility after just a few days. Another study in the Journal of Nutrition found that just 1 serving of cooked spinach can improve walking speed and leg endurance over 12 hours in people over 65. Cooking tips to retain maximum nutrients: always cook lightly, sauté with olive oil, steam lightly, or add to soups. Add a squeeze of lemon or garlic, helps absorb iron and breaks down oxalates that interfere with mineral absorption. Avoid overcooking, loses nitrates and water-soluble vitamins. A good serving size: 1 cup cooked spinach per day, can be added to the morning omelette. Whole wheat pasta for lunch or mix with quinoa, lentils. I used to think it took something big to get me on my feet, but sometimes just a small plate of greens every day is enough to make my legs strong again. And if you feel like the blood is not circulating well to your legs, if you stand for a long time and feel tired, remember that the blood needs a little key to open the way, and spinach is that key. In the next part, we will learn about a power duo, a small seed and a special grain. When eaten together, they create a lasting source of energy that helps muscles recover, prevents weakness, and helps you climb stairs and stand for a long time without getting tired. Mr. Richard, 74 years old, once joked to his friends, I can cook instant noodles in 3 minutes, but I have to rest for 30 minutes before I have enough energy to take the trash out. He does not have heart disease, does not have diabetes, but every time he stands for a long time or climbs stairs, his legs seem to lose momentum. Sometimes he even feels a slight tremor in his calves, as if his battery is about to run out. His doctor advised him to change his diet, especially adding protein and complex carbohydrates to his lunch. Sounds simple, but things only really changed when he started cooking lentils with quinoa. Why do these two simple dishes create a perfect couple? Lentils, plant-based protein, helps restore muscles. Rich in protein and leucine, an important amino acid that helps regenerate muscle fibers. Contains iron, magnesium, potassium, supports circulation, reduces muscle fatigue. Rich in soluble fiber, stabilizes blood sugar, avoids fatigue after eating. Slow digestion provides energy throughout the afternoon. Quinoa, a complete grain richer than rice. A rare complete protein from plants containing all 9 essential amino acids. Rich in vitamin E, magnesium, zinc, contains many natural plant nitrates that help increase circulation like spinach. Easy to digest and less bloating than white rice or bread. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults who ate lentils every day for 2 weeks had 22% more muscle endurance when standing and walking than those who ate refined starches like white bread. Another study in Brazil noted people who ate quinoa instead of white rice for lunch had significant improvements in balance and walking tests the next morning. Best uses: boil dry lentils until tender or stew with vegetables, turmeric, garlic. Wash raw quinoa thoroughly, cook like rice in vegetable broth, can be mixed or eaten alone. Ideal serving size: 1/2 cup quinoa, 1/2 cup cooked lentils. Add greens and olive oil. Avoid canned beans with high salt, sodium, cooking with too much oil or dairy. I used to think I needed to take supplements or coffee to get my energy. Now I know my body needs the right fuel and the right longevity, not a temporary boost. And if you often find your legs running out of energy after just a few steps, try adding quinoa and lentils to your lunch. It doesn't have to be complicated, just regular. Next up, we'll look at a food that's known for its heart-healthy qualities, but is especially powerful for your legs: salmon. Rich in omega-3s, vitamin D, and high-quality protein, this is the trifecta of muscle nutrients for old age. Bernard is a former Seattle sailor who lived near the ocean all his life but rarely ate fish. Since retiring, he moved in with his daughter in Arizona, and since then, he has felt his body withering away. "I can't walk for long anymore. My thighs tire quickly, my knees are tight, and there is a dull ache after every outing." His daughter, a nurse, after consulting a nutritionist, decided to make a small change: feed him grilled salmon 3 times a week. No drugs. No expensive supplements, just salmon, a little lemon, and olive oil. Why is salmon so powerful in muscle recovery and leg pain relief? Salmon is one of the few foods that provides all 3 core elements for healthy bones and muscles in older adults. 1. High-quality protein helps rebuild muscle fibers that have weakened over time. Supports tissue regeneration after light exercise or minor injuries. 2. Omega-3 DHA and EPA. Reduces inflammation in muscles and joints, the main cause of pain in older adults when moving. Increases insulin sensitivity in muscles, helps muscles absorb energy better. Helps improve endothelial function, promotes good blood circulation to the legs. 3. Natural vitamin D, essential for muscle contraction, nerve reflexes, and calcium absorption. Vitamin D deficiency causes many people to feel tired legs, joint pain, and cramps, even though they still exercise regularly. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older adults who ate salmon 3 times a week improved leg strength by up to 24% in just 10 days, especially in the knee and thigh areas. Another study using omega-3 supplements found older adults increased their walking distance and significantly reduced leg muscle fatigue after exercise after just 6 weeks. But the catch: eating salmon is still more effective than taking supplements because you get the extra protein and natural vitamin D. How to eat salmon for optimal results: prefer wild-caught salmon over farm-raised. Grill, steam, or lightly sauté with lemon, garlic, olive oil, herbs, dill, parsley, thyme. Avoid deep frying, cream, or sweet sauces. Serve with fries or fast carbs. Ideal serving size: 4 to 6 ounces of salmon about the size of your palm. 2 to 3 times per week is enough to see noticeable results. I used to think fish was a luxury, an unnecessary thing at my age, but it turns out it's the only thing that keeps my legs moving like they used to, lighter, steadier, and without wincing after every step. And if you feel like your body is slowing down, your legs are no longer flexible, remember that you probably don't need more medicine, just a piece of fish at the right time. In the next section, we'll meet a striking red-purple food that few people know is the key to reopening blood flow to your legs. The thing that has helped many athletes and seniors increase their walking speed in less than 24 hours. Mr. Miguel, 76, once said that what upset him most was not his age, but the feeling of being left behind. Every Saturday morning, when the whole family went for a walk along the beach, he was often the last one to leave. Not because he didn't want to go, but because his legs couldn't keep up. I'm still here, still walking, but the other person is gone. The doctor found no obvious problem. No arthritis, no diabetes, just blood not flowing as fast as it used to. An old friend, a track coach, suggested a little trick. Drink a glass of beetroot juice before you go for a walk. Don't ask any questions. Just try it. After just a few days, Miguel called back, surprised. Not only did I walk faster, I wanted to keep going. Why are beets so powerful, especially for the legs of older adults? Beets are rich in natural nitrates, which when entering the body will be converted into nitric oxide, a miracle molecule with the ability to dilate blood vessels, increase blood flow to the legs and large muscles, improve muscle contractility, reduce fatigue, reduce the feeling of heavy legs, speed up recovery. For older adults, where blood circulation begins to slow down, especially in the lower limbs, nitric oxide is the bridge that helps blood return to the muscles. A study in the Journal of Gerontology showed that older adults who drank beetroot juice before walking increased their walking speed by 19% after just one use. Another study published in Hypertension showed that drinking beetroot juice daily helps lower blood pressure, increase arterial flexibility, and significantly improve lower leg endurance after just 7 to 10 days. How to use beetroot for best results, best time. 30 to 60 minutes before walking, light exercise, or activities that require standing. How to prepare: juice 1 fresh beet with apple, carrot, and a few slices of ginger. Or use store-bought, unsweetened, pure beetroot juice, ideal serving size, 4 to 6 ounces, serving about half a small glass. A little note: may cause light pink urine, completely normal. Avoid drinking on an empty stomach if you're prone to low blood pressure. I don't need a pill. I need a new blood supply. And beets, seemingly normal, do just that. If you've ever felt heavy-legged, slowed down, or tired easily after standing for a while, try this red gift. It's not only good for your heart, but it also revives your legs that are silently waiting to be recharged. And finally, we come to something you may have heard of, but never appreciated: bone broth. It's not just bone broth, it's a pure, fast-absorbing source of nutrients, helping to rebuild tissue, soothe joints, and restore muscle in just a few hours. Linda, 70, used to call bone broth sick broth. For her, it was a dish her mother used to make when someone in the family was sick. A light and easy-to-swallow dish, not much to say. Until one day, after a grueling knee session, she heard her physical therapist say, "After a workout like this, if you want your muscles and joints to recover quickly, go home and have a glass of bone broth. Nothing else." At first she thought, how can a bowl of soup help me walk more easily? But out of curiosity, she did. And after just 1 week, she no longer felt a tingling pain in her knees after each workout. She also no longer had a dull feeling in the evening. That's when I realized, this is not just food, it's a cell tonic. Why is bone broth so deeply restorative? Bone broth, a broth made from bones, when cooked properly for many hours, will release collagen and gelatin, the foundation structure of connective tissue, cartilage, and muscle. Amino acids such as glycine, proline, glutamine help regenerate cells, fight inflammation, and restore muscles. Minerals such as calcium, magnesium, phosphorus support bones and transmit nerve signals. Natural electrolytes balance water and prevent muscle fatigue. Unlike solid foods that take a long time to digest, bone broth is in liquid form, is quickly absorbed, goes deep into the bloodstream and reaches muscle tissue. A Japanese study found that, after just 1 day of taking glycine from bone broth, older adults had 40% faster muscle recovery after light exercise. Another study from the Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism found that older adults who consumed collagen-rich broth experienced reduced joint pain, increased flexibility, and increased lower limb strength by up to 36% in just 1 week. How to use for maximum recovery. Recommended use: in the morning on an empty stomach, or after light exercise such as walking, yoga, physical therapy. How to cook properly. Use beef, fish, chicken bones from free-range animals. Add 1–2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar when cooking to extract minerals. Stir for at least 8 to 12 hours with garlic, ginger, onions, herbs. Recommended serving size: 1 cup, about 150 milliliters at a time. Can be refrigerated or frozen, reheated gently when serving. I don't need to look for anything complicated. My body just needs to be nourished from the inside. And bone broth does that gently, steadily, sustainably. If you're feeling like your legs are running out of steam after a walk, or your knees feel rusty every morning, try starting your day with a warm glass of broth. This is not a food for the weak. It is a food for those who are really getting their strength back. And here you have it, 9 foods with clear recovery power in just 12 to 24 hours. But it's not just the individual foods that matter, it's how you combine them at the right time. At the end, I'll walk you through a simple morning routine, combining these foods into a 1-day leg recovery plan that will help you start seeing the difference as early as tomorrow morning. Carol, 72, has an interesting morning routine. Before she leaves her bedroom, she takes a sip of warm water, opens the curtains to let in the light, and says to herself, "Today, my legs will walk better than yesterday." But that makes the real difference, not just her beliefs, but what she puts into her body in the first 4 hours of the day. She calls it the leg strength morning ritual, a gentle, yet powerful ritual built around the foods you just learned about. Why is morning the golden time for muscle recovery after a long night of sleep? Your body is dehydrated, lacking minerals, prone to muscle cramps. Blood circulation slows down, making your legs numb and heavy. Muscles enter a natural recovery state. If you refuel properly, the effect will double. 1-day recovery plan, a day of eating right for strong legs. Before breakfast, unlock circulation 7 o'clock to 7:30 a.m. 1 small glass of beetroot juice or tart cherry juice. Increase circulation, reduce inflammation, help blood flow to the legs faster, reduce muscle stiffness after sleep. Can be diluted with filtered water. Drink slowly on an empty stomach. Breakfast, start light but strong 7:30 to 8 a.m. Poached or lightly fried eggs plus sauté spinach with garlic. 1 tablespoon pumpkin seeds soaked overnight. 1 slice of whole wheat bread or 1/2 cup quinoa. Add protein, nitrates, magnesium, slow and steady energy boost. Spinach should be sauté quickly with olive oil and fresh lemon for better absorption. Mid-morning, muscle maintenance 10 o'clock to 10:30 a.m. 1 small cup of bone broth 250 milliliters, warm, no salt. Rehydrates, provides collagen and glycine to muscles. Drink slowly like a tea, can add ginger or dill. Lunch, rebuild and refuel 12 o'clock to 1 p.m. Lentil stew with turmeric plus quinoa plus grilled salmon or mackerel. Supplement complete protein, omega-3, iron, fiber. Simple grilled fish with lemon and herbs, avoid frying in oil. Afternoon, recovery after exercise if walking, light exercise. Drink another small glass of bone broth or tart cherry juice if feeling tired. Dinner, light, easy to digest, steamed vegetables plus some nuts or light fish. Avoid white carbs, sugar, fried foods. Let your body sleep deeply and recover. I didn't change everything in 1 day. I just started with breakfast. And then I kept going. A glass of water, a bowl of soup, a bowl of quinoa. Gradually, I got my legs back, and the initiative in every step. You don't have to start with everything. Just pick 1 morning routine and stick with it for 3 days. Maybe a glass of beet juice, a spoonful of pumpkin seeds, a cup of bone broth, your legs will feel it. You will feel it. And when that happens, don't forget to come back and share with us in the comments, what did you try? And what changed in your legs? We read every story, because this isn't just a video, it's a journey of recovery together. You just learned 9 foods that science has proven to help your feet recover quickly. An easy morning routine for seniors, and most of all, how to listen to and nourish your feet as a precious part of yourself. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with your loved ones who need to walk more confidently every day.